end of the 2022 season for the All Blacks is England at Twickenham. Will this test match define their season?
What about 4 years ago? Or 3 years ago? I felt sick after that game. We lost in the semi-final in Japan, and that's the last time we played them. So you, Goldie, and me as ex-players, what do you think your motivation is this week?
You hang on to that sort of stuff, though. We've heard from them this week. There's a lot of guys that weren't part of that campaign, weren't part of that final. Do you think some of them are still hanging on to it? Do you think deep down we've seen it before from the All Blacks. We've seen it against France when there's been a big game, a big opportunity. But this isn't a Rugby World Cup. Surely this is about this group and this season performing.
Yeah, well, anyone that you know, their age starts with a 3 and not with a 2 will be hurting from that time ago, right?
Yep.
So the leadership group will remember that. They won't be making a big emphasis for Caleb Clark because they won't want to upset him. But the old guys, Retallick, Aaron Smith, Bowden Barrett, it's important. It's important to get one back. It's important moving forward. You know, both of these sides have had a tumulus sort of rocky 6 months. I mean, they want to get rid of Eddie Jones last week or 2 weeks ago, you know, and we've been through what we've been through. So when you think about preparation for a World Cup, you've got to play 7 games in a row, right? And that's hard. So they would have come on this tour and gone, you know, we've got Japan, okay, need to play well to win, but we've got Wales, we've got Scotland, and we've got England. That's quarterfinal, semi-final, and final, right? And so tomorrow for me is really, really defining on this team taking confidence into next year.
Oh, look at the group though, the selected. This is, look, there's only 2 guys at home at the moment, there's Sam Cane and Will Jordan. You know, 2 guys you would have in this selection debate, I would say.
Yeah. When
you start going on form, on guys who have performed at this level and dealing with the pressure, great opportunity, I'll say it once again, I've said it already this week, for Mark Talia, because he's deserved, on form, the way he played in his first test, second test. But this is Twickenham, this is England, this is the RFU, Sir John Kirwan. This is the RFU who continually, they hold the power in some ways of the game. So in terms of making a statement, and in terms of the All Blacks going out and performing, I look at it and go, you know what? I think they are good enough. I think this group can come and put on a performance that is indicative of where they're at right now. That what you've just talked about, 3 weeks in a row, 4 weeks if you include Japan, where England at Twickenham, it's almost like a knockout game at a Rugby World Cup, right? That's the sort of pressure that will be at Twickenham this weekend. So what do you think Eddie Jones has got up his sleeve?
Nothing. No, he will go back. He will watch every single game that we've lost. You know, think about the Ireland Test series. They just starved us of the ball. So he'll be talking to the English team about, actually, let's not take too many risks. Let's just don't give them the ball. The breakdown will be ferocious. I think he will try and play a relatively boring game early, high kicks, try and get possession back, try and get field position. Because when you look at the games we've lost, that's when we suffer the most, when we're strangled, don't have the ball. You know, us Kiwis get a bit bored when it's boring because we want to play footy. And I think on the opposite side, you know, we've seen Scott Barrett, you know, go to 6, and I was having this discussion with someone yesterday. They said, yeah, but he was there when we lost last. Yeah, he was there when we lost last, but he played 4 games there or something. Now he's a seasoned professional at 6. He plays 6 like he would lock, which is what we want, because the breakdown will be ferocious. You know, the breakdown will be where we need to win it. But I think the most important thing tomorrow is an early kicking game and our defensive line speed. You know, we've got to cut guys down like Toilangi out of the game, you know. So for me, it's just a really, really intriguing game.
So I'm going to give you this then, right? If we win, and we win well, is it more than a pass mark? If we just win and get over the top of them, is the season then on balance, given what we've been through, is it just a pass? If we lose, what does that mean? Where does that leave us?
Oh, I don't want to answer that question.
Or do you want to save it until afterwards?
No. I will answer the question pre, and then we can bring it up again afterwards, because you have a courage of an opinion, right?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know what you think.
Well, I think that if we win this game, it will be the most incredible turnaround in what has been an unprecedented, turbulent year. I mean, we're going to sack the coach 3 months ago. You know, the players were upset. The coaching staff was upset. The coach made some big calls around some great people and changed. We've seen the influence of the different type of coaching coming in. You know, Joe and Jason coming and making a real difference. I can see this side heading in the right direction. Will it unrail us? No. I think this team is really now settled. But a win would really give us that little bit of a sniff. We're third in the world, remember, and go, actually, we're a real chance to take home the World Cup next year. I think the biggest concern for me tomorrow, I know this wasn't the question, is the bench. So the bench won it for us last week. Fair.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple of selections on the bench, someone like Hoskins, who needs to come on and bring all the stuff that we know he's got.
Yep.
You know, we know he's got great feet. We know he can break a game open. And it might just take those guys that are coming off the bench tomorrow to just pick it up again. And I think when you think back to our best sides, probably 211 to 215, that the bench was, you know, a big part of it.
Do you think we win tomorrow?
Yeah, I do think we win. I think we win by 12. And I think we win by 12 because this team knows the importance. It's turned the corner. I think there's enough of a new style of rugby that I'm starting to enjoy. And I think that Eddie and the English side are under more pressure than us.
I've enjoyed our previews. I've always enjoyed catching up. Let's see whether or not we're right. Let's see whether or not we think we've got it right tomorrow at Twickenham. It's going to be some sort of test match. This is a great way to finish the 2022 season.